So let's talk about the Lakers situation. I know we've spoken a lot on the Lakers this season, and we know that they're a big, and I know that they're a big talking point, but they're very important in the NBA due to the fact that they have two of the best players in the league. Now, today I won't be speaking as much about LeBron. Today I'm going to be speaking more about Anthony Davis. And what is Anthony Davis going to do for his career? I know Anthony Davis loves LA, just the city. He loves being there. He's obviously very happy playing with LeBron. And it's obvious that he knows that he can win rings if he just plays with the best and be the most effective version of himself on the Lakers. Now, with that being said, I think AD, especially now that LeBron is looking to retire soon, I think AD has to start thinking about his career as an individual player. The reason why is because, look, AD is an amazing player, like an amazing player. He's one of the best, you know, players in the league, right? Just due to the fact that even when offense, great defense, he has the other one to make it up for, right? So it's like when Anthony Davis is struggling to make him like he can actually, pull it off, then you'll see him just get 4 blocks, get 2 steals, just be the best defensive player in the world and really do it. And the thing is that I see Anthony Davis as a guy who could actually lead a team to a championship. Maybe not as the primary player, but in like a 1-2 situation with like a guard or some stuff like that. He's 30 years old, he has plenty of career left, and we can't talk about the Lakers like it's just LeBron's legacy and then Anthony Davis will just follow along. Like, I know he's happy in LA, but it's like his career is not to the fullest extent due to the fact that he's playing in LA. He won a ring, and he's one of the best players in the world right now, right? An All NBA, All Star level player. Now we have to start talking about when LeBron leaves, because it's obvious that he's been in the Lakers because of LeBron, because he thinks that he can still win, because him and LeBron have a great relationship, and because he likes to learn from him, and because it's been such a great experience playing with him, right? Especially what it's done for AD's career in terms of the stats, because let's say AD's stats have been amazing ever since he started playing with LeBron. Now, what we can say is that even though what we can say is that AD, maybe let's say LeBron leaves in a year or two, right? AD still has to make a career for himself. He still has to play with like his game, and he still has to win more. So now we're gonna start getting into the questions of what should Anthony Davis do to help his legacy out. Because look, I understand that Anthony Davis just wants to win. It's obvious in the way that he plays, it's obvious in the way that he conducts himself. He's a great defender, great offensive player. He's very good. He is clutch. As much as he is inconsistent, he is clutch. And he's a guy who can consistently be there for you in tough situations that make good things out of it. Now, the question is, what is the future for him going to look like? He's 30 years old right now. In 2 years, he'll be 32, and I don't doubt that at 32 years old, Anthony Davis's game will still be amazing because his game is not predicated on athleticism, right? Like, yes, he can dunk, his speed is important, but he's got a great jump shot. He can block shots really well, he can get steals, he can play both sides of the ball, and he knows how to, arrest between plays because since he's not the primary ball handler each play, then we know that he can really, put himself in positions to not get to not get exhausted throughout the game. So when it comes to conditioning and when it comes to skill, Anthony Davis has enough conditioning and skill to make it through his career. Now what we have to speak on is the production. Because look, Anthony Davis right now, he's in his prime. And yes, I am saying that. When it comes to obviously offense and defense in terms of winning basketball, because when he was with the Pelicans, he was amazing. But those Pelicans teams were not winning anything, and they were not expected to. So he could have produced all the stats that he wanted, but he was on bad teams with good stats. And those stats were shown that yes, they actually did mean something for Anthony Davis because now in LA he's getting similar stats. But it's obvious that those statistics which he got with the Pelicans were also a product of him not having any good players around him to, relegate some of these responsibilities. The reason why I say that is because, yes, he averaged 28 points twice in New Orleans, but on the Lakers, he hasn't averaged, more than 26. So it's like, even though, yes, Anthony Davis is amazing, and he can get to his spots and do his thing correctly, there's also a question of does Anthony Davis need, like help to play his game? The reason why is because AD this season has been on a tear, right? He's been averaging 25 points, 2.4 blocks, a steal per game, 3.7 assists, 12 rebounds, three of them being offensive. Meanwhile, also shooting 56% from the field, right? Yes, he's shooting 29% from three, but that's that. And that it is what it is, right? But it's like, when it comes to AD and these stats, I feel like for most teams, that statistic could get them to a championship. Like, imagine if AD was in New York with Jalen Brunson. And we don't never talk about these situations because AD is so comfortable and AD likes LA so much. It's obvious he doesn't want to leave. He wants to play with LeBron. He likes it there. He probably has his family, his house, his life there. And I think that he's truly figured out a place and a franchise which treats him well, in which he gets the respect he deserves, and in which he wants to stay to, for the rest of his career. Because if we're being honest, the biggest reason in New Orleans why AD also played so well was to up his value so that he could get traded, right? So because he didn't want to be in New Orleans anymore. In LA gives him the money that he wants to. So, I'm sorry for that, but so that means that Anthony Davis, is he leaving or is he staying? And that's my biggest question. And I think he's staying in terms of himself. But for his franchise, I think he might be gone. When LA, loses LeBron, right? Or he asks for a trade or he wants to retire. However, LeBron is gone, which is probably going to be in 2 years or something, AD is probably still going to be there. He doesn't show any signs of frustration. You could see him always. He's very happy. And in my opinion, it is very good just to be able to see a superstar in this league be able to be so comfortable in a situation and not want to leave their team. That shows true loyalty, right? He obviously wants to win, but you could tell he already won his ring. He feels comfortable, and especially with all these things, he just made an All-Star. He's probably making an All-NBA. Anthony Davis is really doing it correctly. Now, when it comes to this season, we have to go and we have to say, is Anthony Davis eventually going to get fed up with not winning? Is Anthony Davis gonna, get mad? Is Anthony, are all these questions gonna surge? And even if they do, Anthony Davis, in my opinion, has put himself in a position where it's he has the leverage, right, to leave LA, to stay, or to do, virtually whatever he wants due to his superstar talent and potential. Not potential, due to his superstar talent and skill. So, in my opinion, I think that AD is probably one of the most stable superstars in the league. If he retires with LA, if he gets traded to another team, if when LeBron leaves they're rebuilding, or maybe they still try to contend and try to get another star, who knows? But in my opinion, I like Anthony Davis. I like how he conducts himself. And when it comes to especially his team and the way that he's doing it, I do believe that he's been one of the best in the league.